I like waiting on quarterbacks, but what's the real sweet spot? I don't want to be too late on quarterbacks either, but should I wait until like the ninth round and maybe roll the dice on an Anthony Richardson, or kind of what are your thoughts on the quarterback situation?
You can go either or. I've always been a guy who's waited, but this year I have changed that a little bit, right? So like if I see Jalen Hurts on the board in round 3, I may take him, or Josh Allen. I'm probably not going to get Mahomes because he's a second round pick. I don't want to go to a quarterback that early in a non super flex 2 quarterback league. Obviously, things change if you have to start 2 or you can start 2. But for me, if I wait, I don't mind having like Dak and Richardson or Kirk Cousins and Geno, and I can play the matchups with those, with those players. There's some good. I like Kenny Pickett a lot. He's my favorite sleeper at quarterback this year. Does Russell bounce back? Does Aaron Rodgers bounce back? Last year was a really bad year for quarterbacks overall. At the top, it was good, but other than that, a lot of guys disappointed, including Tom Brady and Rodgers and Russell. And the list goes on and on. But obviously Brady's no longer in the mix, but Russell and Rodgers, let's see if they're in new situations. Rodgers in New York and Russell now with Sean Payton as his head coach. So we'll see if those guys can bounce back. But the position is not one that you have to focus on early in a traditional draft. You can wait, like you said, and still get 2 really good quarterbacks who might not be elite, but together can give you some pretty good numbers on a weekly basis.
Fabs, honestly, you said Tom Brady is out for right now. What if somebody puts up the bat signal and he says, you know what? You need greatness back. San Francisco could come a calling, and he might come back halfway. No, I'm just kidding. But
yeah, I mean, he's part owner of the Raiders now. He's
yeah. Oh, that's true.
He's not coming back. He's not. I'd be surprised if he came back.
Yeah, maybe for the Raiders if the Raiders needed him, but
that would maybe be the only scenario. And even that, I don't know if they'd bring a.
It'd be like in semi-pro with Will Ferrell, player, coach, and
right
and owner. Fabs, just real quick, who's a guy that you're really high on that maybe not a lot of people are talking about?
Ken Gainwell in Philadelphia, and they have a backfield committee, so I'm not super high on him, but like I think it could be the best bargain out of the Eagles running backs because everyone's taking Swift and Rashad Penny, and then Gainwell's kind of fallen into round 12, 13, maybe a little bit earlier in some larger leagues, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up leading the Eagles running backs in fantasy points. Stranger things have happened. So Gainwell is probably a guy that I like maybe a little bit more than some people. And, there's some deep sleepers too, like Chigakonkwo, who I like in Tennessee, a tight end. And, I mentioned Romeo Doubs also. So there's some players out there that you can get late that I've been targeting late, hoping that maybe my prognostication will come to fruition and they'll be useful assets for my fantasy team.